website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. Hey, how do you learn to compose songs? Do you just, learn a lot of songs and then from there you start building your own songs? This approach, that's what most people do, by the way, but this approach is much like learning licks in order for you to be able to improvise. But a lick is like a pre-composed little bit of a solo, right? And if you base your solos on licks, then you're really, putting together little building blocks that somebody else created. And so the amount of creativity is limited severely because you're just putting together stuff, right? We're always just putting together stuff, but is it pre-composed little bits or is it sequences, which I recommend, as you probably know? Little mathematical patterns that you can, and then could put the sequences together. And once you have a lot of sequences in there, you really start developing a totally new level of freedom to just play and play and play. Because you are building your solos from the smallest building blocks possible. Like building with the actual Lego blocks of music. Instead of building with little pre-built patterns or, stuff, people who build them already, and then you put that together and, that's not, the highest level of creativity. And it's always dependent on where you want to go, right? Nothing's bad here. Nothing's good or correct. It's just a matter of where you want to go. When it comes to songwriting, you want to do the same thing. You want to build with the smallest components of music. And what does that mean? Well, if you learn songs, then all you really do is learn chord patterns. But if you have basically, this is what you need to do. You need to learn some amount of music theory. You need to know about chords and their relationship with each other. They're arranged in a key from a scale of 7 notes or from the blues scale and its power chords. All of these things you have to know just a little bit about so you can start noticing patterns. So when you see a song, you can see, okay, that's an interesting riff. Yeah, you got a riff in E. Why is that so cool? What is it about it that's cool? And then you come up with a mental reason, right? A logical reason. You say, okay, I really like this. Right? Why is that so cool? Why does that, move? Everybody knows this riff. It's like, first, one of the reasons might be that it's ba da 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 ba 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 da. So first it's right on the beat, right? Ba da da ba 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 da. Right? That's a cool thing. So you could do once you know that, then you can start. You have that mental image of what is going on here, and you notice that and make a little interesting, right? Instead of just listening for it and learning it, you actually notice what is going on and what's cool about it. So you could go. Nobody would expect or suspect that you have this rhythm or that concept from another song, right? Now you have something you can generate 1,000 ideas from that, just that one insight. Another little thing could be that you look at different songs, for instance, Knocking on Heaven's Door. This is such a good example of a rule breaker. First of all, it has G, D, and A minor. And I would say that this song is in G, right? So it has the tonic, the dominant, and then the second step of the scale, the A minor. And those 3 chords, that doesn't follow the normal G, C, and tonic, tonic, subdominant, and dominant. See, I'm doing music theory here, but music theory is just a way of giving words to patterns, really. What is going on in here from a mental perspective? And once you know that, once you take that step back, you can start saying, okay, what is really going on here and how peculiar that he does that. But then you remember the pattern of it, not just the chords or the song, or you actually have a new lesson from that song. So, and another thing with this thing is that instead of having a verse, a bridge, and a chorus with different set of chords, this freaking song, which is the most general thing that everybody uses and does, this song has only 3 chords. It's the same thing for the verse, it's the same thing for the chorus, and it doesn't have a bridge. It doesn't have Mama, take this that you mean, right? And it doesn't have like, right? It doesn't have a bridge. It doesn't have a build up to the chorus. How interesting, right? And it has the same 3 chords in the chorus and the same melody, right? So it goes, and then the chorus comes along. It's, knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. So there's so little content in this song. How is this entertaining to people? That's an interesting thing to notice. Why is that? Because it's always, maybe it could be that it's not resting, right? It's resting on the wrong chord, so we constantly tense, right? It doesn't go, right? It doesn't have that, it just, so it's always going somewhere. That might be a conclusion, right? You might look into the melody, you might look into the lyrics. What are the lyrics saying here? Right? It's a story. Those are images, those sentences that people remember. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door, and Mama, take this badge of me. It has images, and why do you get so emotional about that? If you do, right? But it's always asking yourself, what's the reason for this? Why am I feeling that way? Why do I like that bridge so much? Why do I like that build-up, right? And you go into the patterns of it and say, oh, interesting, you can use the same chords and even the same melody for the chorus, right? It's amazing what we can do with this song, or, and other songs, and I'm talking every style of music. Once you start looking at music and finding patterns, then you can use every style of music to do so, because you have lessons to draw from everything. It could be any other, a song, but you need to look for these patterns and say also melodically, when I started writing music, I didn't have these patterns in place, so I was just all over the place, right? I had too few rules in my head. I had too little knowledge of what went on out there. But why should you have that class? Why do you need to look at the rules? You can just, do anything. No, you can't really, because you'll be floundering. You'll be like weightless in space trying to get a hold of something that sounds cool, because people out there are used to listening to the same structures in music over and over and over again. So you need to be able to talk that language, to be able to create that basic structure and then break it if you want to. But you need to, because that basic structure is what people need in order to feel certain. Because any song is only cool or interesting because we have total certainty about what's going to happen here, right? If I just, mess with everything, if the drums are playing one thing, the bass is playing another, and the guitar is playing another unrelated thing, we have something called free jazz. And very few people like to listen to that, because it doesn't have structure. And for any song to be really great to listen to, for most people, 99.999% of the human population, you need some kind of structure that we know, and that's often what we call the style of music, right? We have distorted guitar and metal, and we have right? Metallica broke a lot of these rules too, because they didn't know about them, I think, in the beginning. And then with the Black Album, they got really into those structures, if you listen to their development. And then they started breaking them again. But so you need structure and you need variety. So you need both in a song. You need to be, I know what this is about, and we have a chorus, and then the bridge comes up, and I need and the chorus is higher in pitch, right? And the verse is lower in energy and pitch as well, right? We know about these structures, and there's some new things in there. There's a new melody. There's something that appeals to me that I don't know about. So I have a lot of variety, a lot of excitement as well. But you need both in order to create something that you really want to listen to, right? As a human being. So going into and studying these patterns, using music theory to some degree, and then just, different patterns of what does this artist do? Why am I so happy about listening to this guy or he or she, right? And And as you listen to music in that way and try to create patterns and listen for the patterns and the different, in the chord progressions, in the rhythms and everything, and you get better at that, you become an amazing songwriter, because now you can actually manipulate music at its core level, right? And you have drawn all of these lessons from music and what you like. You notice when there's something you get really excited about in a song, and you try to, what is this? What's going on here? Why is this so cool? Oh, it's because this and this and that. And then bam, it hits you right away, and you remember that forever because you're really into it. You really like that. So you don't need to, it's the best way of studying music, right? And then you start building your own songs, and you have all these nuggets about your preferences, what you like, and what comes out is your unique voice, your unique expression, because those are your preferences, and you know what you're doing, right? So I hope this makes sense. It's of course, a gray zone, an area where you can't really, but just look for the patterns and don't stop looking. Don't stop thinking about, why is this so cool? Let me see if I can grasp it, right? And of course, that's the magic to it that we can never grasp. If we could, everyone would be able to sit down and learn how to write a super hit in any style, but we can't. So, but structurally, rhythmically, what can you learn from that? How can you define what is going on so you can learn to do the same thing? Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.